Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be doing a run through of pretty much my entire Steven Spielberg collection, pretty much all the movies I've got that he's directed. I've got a good chunk of movies from Spielberg. I mean, he's an absolute phenomenal director. When he's good, he's good. He's just, yeah, made some of the best films ever, in my opinion. Probably he has the name that springs to mind whenever the word director is said. He's just churned out some phenomenal work, so I'm just going to try and run through as many of the films I've got as possible. I think I've got the majority of his movies. There might be a couple that I'm missing, but please let me know down in the comments some of your favourite Spielberg movies. So that being said, I'm going to run through them, the ones that I've got in order. So kicking it off with the first one, and that is Duel. Yeah, I love this movie. Not a movie I enjoyed the first time I saw it by any means, but this movie does so much with so little. I mean, creating such a suspenseful movie with a car and a truck. I adored the atmosphere that this movie created. I thought it was fantastic. I love the main character, the villain who we just never ever see. Yeah, the camera work and the sound design of this movie just creates such a sinister villain with this truck driver that we just don't see. Just driving this dirty truck, which is absolutely relentless and will not stop. It was a fantastic, fantastic movie. Duel is probably one of the best suspenseful thriller movies I've ever seen. I thought it was fantastic and such a great starting point for Spielberg. I believe this was a TV movie when it first came out, but should have got theatrical because it so deserved it. It's so well made and it's really fantastic, and it's got that 70s feel to it, where 70s movies were like, there's a shot or a scene we want to create but can't, but the 70s had the sort of attitude where it was like, let's just fucking do it anyway. Real grimy, gritty, realistic movie, and I love Duel. I think it's fantastic, and as I said, fantastic starting point to start if you want to build a Spielberg collection. Wonderful film, absolutely love it. So yeah, that is Duel. Next up, we've got Sugarland Express with Goldie Hawn. Not as good as Duel, in my opinion. It's not one of his better films. It's certainly not one of his better known films. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good for what it was. It just sort of focuses on this family who are trying to like reunite, and they're all in a bit of odd, difficult situations. And yeah, I thought it was fine for what it was. It didn't blow me away. But yeah, it's worth a one-time watch. Next up for me, we've probably got one of his most famous and best movies ever. I know this tops a lot of people's favourite film of all time, and that's Jaws. Yeah, grew up watching this film. It's fantastic. It's character-driven. Story first, shark second. I just absolutely love Jaws. Think it's fantastic. Cast of characters in it: Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss. The three of them have such wonderful chemistry. I absolutely love them. The main villain to me in this film is the mayor. I mean, what a dick. Just turning a blind eye completely to such a very clear and present horrible scenario, and he just wants to constantly ignore it. It's really bad, and it leads to some dire consequences. People like that are very dangerous. And people can whinge about the effects on the shark not holding up. It doesn't bother me. Just go with it. It's masterfully put together. The scares are there. It's wonderful. It's the people in the movie that make it for me, though. All these character traits, you're on board with them. Wonderful movie. I can't get enough of Jaws. It's one of those movies I forget how good it is whenever I'm watching it. Whenever I put it on, I'm drawn in. I'm hooked straight away. No pun intended. But yeah, it's wonderful. Absolutely love Jaws. One of his best. Completely understand why. Deserves the praise it gets. It's wonderful. Love it. So next up, we've got Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is a good movie, but it's not one of my favourites. I enjoy probably the second and third act a bit more. I think it's a bit slow. It takes its time to get going. I mean, that's absolutely fine. But for me, I just wanted it to be a bit more, but have a bit more oomph to it. But yeah, I still enjoy it. It's grown on me with rewatches. Richard Dreyfuss is phenomenal in this movie as well, and it looks great. It looks absolutely stellar. The third act as well, love it. Just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Next up, we've got 1941. Now, this was a massive dip in quality, following up from Jaws and Close Encounters, in my opinion. You got John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, two great actors. Probably the best thing about the movie, in my opinion. But it just lacks. It lacks a lot. This movie. It's definitely down the lower end. Probably Spielberg's worst film. I mean, it's not unwatchable or anything, but it's just. You expect more when you see that Spielberg's behind the camera. It's not great by any means. Very, very disappointing. But as I said, it's not that bad. It's not a train wreck. You can still watch it and get something out of it. It's not horrible. It's just not great for Spielberg standards. So yeah, that's 1941. Next up, we've got the Indiana Jones box set. We've got Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So for me, I grew up with the original trilogy, Raiders, Temple, and Crusade. For me, touching on Raiders first, I'm going to be honest, and don't hate me for this, my least favourite Indiana Jones film of that original trilogy. It has grown on me over time, though. I do think I've warmed to it. Definitely. It just wasn't the one I gravitated to when I was younger. Temple of Doom is my favourite Indiana Jones movie of all time. I absolutely love it. I love how dark it is. I know people say the characters Willie and Short Round can get very grating and very annoying. Yes, I understand that argument, but for me, growing up on this film, they never ever bothered me. It was never an issue for me. I just enjoyed how batshit crazy Temple of Doom was and its ruthlessness. And I know, I think it's Spielberg sort of like, I believe he sort of like regretted taking that tone to it, but I think he did a wonderful job. Last Crusade is the definition of fun adventure for me. I absolutely love it. The opening sequence with River Phoenix is flawless, in my opinion. Absolutely love it. It tells us so much about the character of Indiana Jones with pretty much hardly any dialogue. It's just a wonderful chase sequence. Injecting Sean Connery as well as Henry Jones, phenomenal. Even though there wasn't really that much of an age gap between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, I dug it so much. The chemistry the two of them have got is absolutely wonderful. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, yeah, it's the Phantom Menace of the Indiana Jones series, in my opinion. So much hype coming around the build-up to it, and yet such a disappointing film. I actually enjoyed it the first time I saw it, but on rewatch, it's not good. Don't get me wrong, it's not completely void of anything good. It's just, coming off the back heels of an already perfect trilogy. That's such a tall order. Shia LaBeouf is fucking dog shit in this film, in my opinion. Absolutely fucking awful. But yeah, the less said about it, the better, in my opinion. But as I said, it's not completely void of bad things. It's just those first three movies are so good. I'm a bit worried with what's going to happen with this fifth film, but only time can tell. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Indiana Jones movies. Next up, we've got probably one of the biggest movies to come out of 1982, and that is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I think this movie is a tad little bit overrated, in my opinion. Don't shoot me down. I do still think it is a great film. It's just the chemistry between Elliot and E.T. is just wonderful. This friendship that's formed, they bond together. It's wonderful. Spielberg, in my opinion, has an absolutely wonderful eye for casting children in movies. They never ever sort of come across annoying, especially like his work where he's been a producer, like Goonies, Really, really wonderful casting when it comes to children. And I think he just absolutely hit it out the park with E.T. Really, really good stuff with this movie. The John Williams score, phenomenal. You can see on the cover here the scene where the bike crosses paths with the moon. It's stunning. It really, really is. Of course, I've never seen the edited version that Spielberg released with the walkie-talkies. This is the shotgun version, which is the version I've always seen. I've never, ever come across the walkie-talkie version. But yeah, I think the shotgun version is the way to go. I mean, I don't really understand why directors do that. You've made a film that people love. Don't chop it up and edit it. And I get it's your film that you made, but you made it for people to enjoy, and they've enjoyed what you've originally made. Don't do what George Lucas has done with Star Wars. I mean, that's a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, it's a very good film. It's a very good film. It's not one I come back to a lot because I think it is a tad little bit overrated. It's still very, very good, but yeah, it's not one of my favourites, but I understand the love that it gets, for sure. So yeah, that is E.T. Next up, we've got a movie that had quite a few directors behind it, but I'm just going over the Spielberg segment, and that is Twilight Zone, the movie. So Spielberg directed a segment of this film, or 4 segments, each directed by John Landis, Joe Dante, George Miller, and Spielberg. Now, for me, the Spielberg segment is the weakest. They all are adapted episodes to fit into the movie. But yeah, this is not. It's pretty weak from Spielberg, in my opinion, compared to those other ones. My favourite being the George Miller one. But this movie is totally worth checking out, even it's got this dark history behind it with the John Landis segment. But it's totally worth checking out, and I really, really enjoyed the Twilight Zone. I think it's really, really good. So, coming up next, we've got The Colour Purple. Not a movie I enjoyed the first time I saw it. On second rewatch, I thought this movie was great. Absolutely loved it. One of his best. Sort of goes under the radar for me in terms of Spielberg. I had a great time with it. It's got some difficult subject matter with the slavery issue. And I just thought it was wonderfully cast, wonderfully acted. Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, Oprah Winfrey. Fantastic cast, powerful acting performances in this film, and it's totally worth checking out. It's not a fun family adventure film by any means, which is probably what Spielberg's known for, but this is a fantastic Spielberg drama, and I fully recommend checking it out. Love The Colour Purple, thought it was great. Next up, pretty similar type of movie when it comes to drama from Spielberg, and that is Empire of the Sun. I enjoyed the look of this movie. I thought it was absolutely great. Christian Bale sort of really grated on me, though, in this film. I just really couldn't get on board with him. It just sort of became a bit of a struggle for me. But that being said, the movie is stunning. You just by the cover artwork alone, it really is great. It sort of follows this kid during war who gets separated from his family and he's trying to get back, and he just sees things that he's probably never ever going to forget, and come across all these characters as well. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not one of my favourites by any means, but it's definitely just under the likes of Jaws, Raiders, Jurassic Park for me. Still good, but yeah, as I said, not one of my favourites. So coming up next, we've got Always. I believe this sort of came out in the late 80s. Great cast to it with Holly Hunter, Richard Dreyfuss and John Goodman. Great opening shot as well of this plane coming to land on the water. It just looks absolutely stunning. But the movie, for me, is very, very forgettable. In that sense, it just doesn't pop. It doesn't come to mind. I'd put it down just above 1941 for me. It's not great. It's not awful, but it's not great. And it's just, it just lacks something. I just don't remember much about Always at all, to be honest. Great cast, great director, but just a bit of a lackluster film for me. So yeah, that is Always. Next, we've got Hook. Yeah, childhood staple of mine. Absolutely love this movie. Some real creepy moments in it for a sort of family movie, particularly with the boo box. Just, yeah, absolutely horrifying. But absolutely love Robin Williams in this film as Peter Pan. Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. Love the two of them. Really, really good. Now, the film does have some issues for me. The scenes in Neverland are very much like a production studio. They don't really feel organic or anything like that. There's just a missing ingredient to this film, which is stopping it from being great, in my opinion. It just takes forever for the Peter Pan element of the movie to come in. It's just really more about the problems Robin Williams is having with his kids. But when the Peter Pan stuff does happen, I do really, really enjoy it. You know, again, the casting of the kids in this movie is phenomenal. You know, all the Lost Boys, they're great. Just love it. There's just something missing from this film for me, which is stopping it from being great. But it's still very, very enjoyable. So, yeah, that is Hook. Coming up next, I've got the Jurassic Park trilogy. Only really going to talk about the first two films. So the first one for me is wonderful family entertainment, massively a giant leap forward, shall we say, in special effects, perfect blend of CGI and practical, great sort of science fun adventure film, you know, doing what we've sort of never seen done before with bringing dinosaurs to the big screen in such a different way. Fantastic, still holds up as well. Lost World for me is not as good as the first one. I still think it's a good, enjoyable film. You can still get some things out of it. But Jurassic Park for me is one of Spielberg's best, one of his most fun, entertaining movies that I just absolutely, really, really enjoy. So yeah, that is Jurassic Park. Next up, we've got, in my opinion, Steven Spielberg's best and greatest film. In my opinion, and that is Schindler's List. Now, I've seen this movie quite a few times, which might surprise some people because it's certainly not an easy watch by any means, but this movie is nothing short of a masterpiece for me. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, I just really think Spielberg tapped into something special here. I just think he's absolutely genius. Sort of capturing this piece of history, this horrible, horrible time where the world was at war and, you know, all of the Holocaust was going on. Real, real nasty shit. But I love this movie's ruthlessness in showing us the horror that was war and horror that was the Holocaust. I mean, thank God the internet wasn't around when this movie came out, because I think there would have been a complete witch hunt for Ralph Fiennes' character, but that's... You know, that's testament to him as an actor, how phenomenal he was playing this absolutely despicable piece of shit. Liam Neeson as Oscar Schindler, absolute hero, who, you know, kept his factory going by pumping money into it to keep prevent the Nazis from killing his Jewish workers. It was just, yeah, absolutely fantastic what he did to save them. And the ending to this movie is phenomenal. Brings a tear to the eye, definitely. But yeah, for me, Schindler's List, Spielberg's best film. Not my favourite, but you know, it's that line between favourite and best. And for me, Schindler's List is a home run out of the park. Phenomenal, one of the best films ever made. I know it's definitely not an easy watch. It's not the Friday night, Saturday night feel-good film to put on. Certainly no. That's more Jurassic Park. And for him to juggle Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, making these two masterpieces at the same time, two totally different movies, is another testament. It's another string to Spielberg's bow, and just how impressive, you know, juggling these two different genres of movies, making them at the same time. Phenomenal. So yeah, that is Schindler's List. Next up, we've got Amistad. Now, this was more sort of a period sort of slave movie, which, for me, this is more difficult to watch at times than Schindler's List, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I don't think it's as bad as Schindler's List, but I did have a bit more of a difficult time watching this with some scenes. But it's got a phenomenal cast, wonderful film. Goes under the radar a little bit for me when it comes to Spielberg's work. You know, it's a little bit underrated. But I still think it is phenomenal. Great cast, great story, great looking movie as well. Just absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, that is Amistad. Next up, we've got, this could rival Schindler's List as one of the best war movies ever. And that is Saving Private Ryan. Got him his second Academy Award as well, the first being for Schindler's List. And this, for me, the opening sequences in this movie are nothing short of perfect. Just absolutely wonderful, perfectly cast, great looking movie. I fully recommend anyone to check this film out. You know, you'll be riveted from the opening sequences, which is the standout to me of the film. Absolutely phenomenal directing, and it just looks, it is, you know, what you're seeing is horrible, but in terms of the film, it's wonderful. You know, it's a wonderful testament to the film, what we're seeing, but it's horrible what, you know, the reality of what we're seeing. But it's wonderfully put together, fantastically acted as well. Great movie, Saving Private Ryan. You know, it's not one I saw when it first came out. I saw it sort of later on, but I was just blown away by it and thought it was fantastic. So, yeah, Saving Private Ryan. Next up, we've got AI, artificial intelligence. I believe this was Spielberg sort of taking over the reins from Kubrick when Kubrick had passed away, but it's not one of my favourites in my opinion. Doesn't do a lot for me, AI, if I'm honest. A bit disappointing for me to watch this. That's not to say that it's bad by any means. It just didn't excite me as much as I wanted it to, you know, when Spielberg's name is attached to a film. But it's still a good looking film. I'll give it that, definitely. You know, the cast in it's pretty good. But yeah, I thought it was just fine. It just didn't do a lot for me. So yeah, which is a shame. But that's AI. Next up, in my opinion, one of Spielberg's most underrated movies, and that is Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Fantastic sci-fi film. Absolutely love it. Such a great concept as well, about this futuristic police force that's arrest people for crimes they are about to commit. You know, and when Tom Cruise's name comes up that he's going to commit a crime, it leads to this absolute phenomenal chase of a movie, which I absolutely dug so much. Absolutely riveted by it and thought it was great. Really good Spielberg movie, really good Tom Cruise movie, and just a great sci-fi movie all around. Thought it was fantastic. Really good. I recommend anyone who's seen this give it another rewatch, because I enjoyed it massively and thought it was great. So yeah, that is Minority Report. Next up, we've got Catch Me If You Can. Another great chase movie, sort of about this con man played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and you've got Tom Hanks, who is pretty much just on his tail all the time, just a couple of steps behind him throughout the entire film. Christopher Walken as Leonardo DiCaprio's dad as well. Gives a wonderful speech in the film, which I was just absolutely hooked by. And yeah, this movie was so much fun, and I enjoyed it the hell out of it. Again, another one from Spielberg that kind of goes under the radar for me. Doesn't really get talked about, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, that is Catch Me If You Can. So next up, we've got another Tom Hanks movie, and that's The Terminal. Another one that goes under the radar for me. I think it's pretty good. You know, it sort of follows Tom Hanks' character, who plays this guy who gets stranded at this airport because of the difficult political issues that his country's going through. So we just follow him as he's stuck at this airport, and we're really rooting for him. And that's pretty much the entirety of the film. It's really, really good. You know, he gets up to all these different little antics, and we meet all these different little characters along the way. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was just fun and heartwarming, and great to see Spielberg make that type of movie. So yeah, that is The Terminal. Next up, we've got the sci-fi remake of The War of the Worlds. Now, didn't do much for me, this movie. I mean, it looks great. The scene where the aliens first show up and they're just absolutely vaporizing everyone was phenomenal. But other than that, I don't really remember a whole lot about this film. Bit of a lackluster ending as well, in my opinion, when things come to a head. I love the original. I think the original's great. Great special effects for the time that movie was made, and it just had more of an impact on me. But this one is, again, it's the definition of just okay. It's okay. It's nothing special in my opinion, but there are some good things in it. It's just overall not a good film in my opinion. It's just fine. Definition of okay. And again, you just expect more from Spielberg. So yeah, that is War of the Worlds. Next, we've got much more of a step up in my opinion, and that's Munich. Probably my favourite Eric Bana movie in my opinion. I just sort of love this political issues that are going on with this bombing with the Olympics, and I thought it was great. Jeffrey Rush in there as well. Really, really good, riveting movie that had me hooked, and I thought Munich was it was a wonderful film. I absolutely enjoyed it so much. Had a real good time with it. It was just so grounded and gritty, and I just really got on with it. And again, it's another one for me from Spielberg that goes under the radar. So yeah, I fully recommend checking out Munich if you've not seen it. I had a blast with it. Thought it was great. One of his best in my opinion. And yeah, just overall a good film. Next up, we've got the sort of capture motion animation. That is The Adventures of Tintin and the Secret of the Unicorn. This, for me, was Spielberg taking a character like Tintin and injecting so much Indiana Jones into this film and creating such a wonderful, fun adventure movie. And it looks great on Blu-ray too. And it's a great Tintin movie. Yeah, I just absolutely had a wonderful time with Tintin. It's one I need to rewatch again because I remember it being really good. And yeah, just again, another Spielberg movie of recent times that go under the radar. I think Spielberg sort of becomes a victim of his own success sometimes. You know, I mean, you say his name and all these movies come to mind, like Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park. And they're wonderful and they're great, and you know they're not bad movies to have attached to your name. But he has done some great smaller work as well, in my opinion, like Tintin. It really is great. So yeah, that is The Adventures of Tintin. Next up, we've got Warhorse. Now, this movie it's sort of like a solid 7 out of 10 movie for me. It's good, but it's not great. I did enjoy it for what it was. It's much more of a slow burn, sort of World War One movie, but it looks visually great. I just don't remember sort of any characters of this movie, which is a shame. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. You know, it's this is not an awful film by any means. It's just, again, it's a good movie, but there's something stopping it from being great, in my opinion. So yeah, that is Warhorse. I recommend it, but it's not one of his best, in my opinion anyway. So next up, we've got Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis. This won him his 3rd Academy Award for Best Actor. Daniel Day-Lewis, that is. But this movie, from a sort of, if you're looking at it from a sort of director's standpoint, it feels a lot more like a play brought to the big screen. You know, following Lincoln, who was trying to change this amendment, which I really do enjoy. The cast in this is wonderful. You know, Tommy Lee Jones, James Spader, Sally Field, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Daniel Day-Lewis as well. They're all wonderful. They're all fine in this movie. They're all great. You know, it's that great sort of history, political type of movie. I was a bit disappointed with the ending because we all know what happens to Abraham Lincoln, but it was done off screen, and I felt that was, you can either go, well, that was a bit of a cop out, or that was a really sort of different, effective way to do it. For me, I kind of see both sides to the coin of that, but I do think this is a good film, and it's definitely at least worth checking out once just for the acting alone. So yeah, that is Lincoln. Next up, we've got another Tom Hanks movie, and that is Bridge of Spies. Great spy espionage movie. This one, I was really surprised by it, and it really won me over. If I'm honest, I was just sort of pleased to have come out of this film thinking that was a great Spielberg film. If I'm honest, it's of course won Mark Rylance as well, Best Supporting Actor. And I just had a great time with it. It was great, wonderful acting, wonderful story, and a real overall good time of a film that I enjoyed. And yeah, it's one of Spielberg's better ones of recent times, in my opinion. And yeah, really enjoyed it. I fully recommend it to anyone. You know, check out Bridge of Spies. If you've not seen it, I thought it was great. Next up, we've got the BFG. Bland, completely bland in my opinion. This film, just run of the mill average. Looks great, but is boring. In my opinion, you know, it just didn't do much for me. You know, I do really like the animated one with David Jason, but this for me was just run of the mill, bog standard. Not real much effort put into it, in my opinion. It was just so average and bland, and I just didn't really get anything out of it. So yeah, I can't really say much more than that. You know, I enjoyed the bigger giants in it, but I just thought their designs could have been a lot more creative. Like, they just sort of look like generic giants, whereas in the animated version they all have like different colours and different faces, and yeah, it didn't do much for me, this movie, if I'm honest. I think the first act is probably the best, and then it falls apart for me when the Queen gets involved, if I'm honest. I was never really a big fan of that in the story anyway. But yeah, not one of my favourites, in my opinion. Next up, we've got The Post. Yeah, again, another well-acted political movie with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Thought this was really good, really tense, on the edge of your seat type of political movie. Not like an action or an adventure film by any means. It was just, you were sitting there really, really tense, you know, as this whole Watergate thing was coming to a head. Really, really enjoyed The Post, and yeah, the acting in it is friggin' great. So next, we've got, I believe, his last film to date of me making this video, and that is Ready Player One. I had such a good time with this at the cinema. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Seeing all of these cultural references on the screen, coming together, you know, in the really cool story about this game creator who hid these 3 keys in the game. Yeah, I thought it was great, wonderful. I've never read the book, and I know some people who've read the book don't really like the film, but that's always going to be the case, you know. Adaptations are changed from book to film. It happens, but my word, I had a wonderful time with this. That car chase sequence, you know, with the T-Rex from Jurassic Park and King Kong. Oh, I was just blown away by it, and I had such a great time with it. And yeah, it's one of my favourite Spielbergs probably for the last 10, 15 years. I had so much fun with it and such a blast with it. And yeah, I recommend this to anyone. You know, it's very special effects heavy. You know, and if that doesn't bother you, I think you'll have a good time with it. But I really, really enjoyed Ready Player One. And that's just my personal opinion on the film. I know some people don't really like this movie, but I had such a good time with it. And I just thought it was the definition of fun, in my opinion. So yeah, those are my Steven Spielberg movies that I have in my collection. So yeah, I'll leave the video there and say thanks very much for watching. You know, if there's any I've missed, please let me know down below, and let me know your favourite Spielberg movies, are the ones that you think are overrated, or the ones that you think are underrated, that don't get enough love, that are fantastic. Like for me, The Colour Purple and Munich, I really, really enjoy. So yeah, I know the video's dragged on a bit, and I'm sorry for the runtime, but yeah, if you've stuck with it, I'll say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe and take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.